Welcome to what makes a good provisional registration profile, advice for reviewers, supporters and provisionally registered teachers. The purpose of this recording is to share some guidance, some best practice and some ideas with you that may enhance a provisional registration profile. You may have different ideas and an alternative way of doing things. The slides that follow are for guidance only. We at GTC Scotland trust that they are helpful if you are looking for some direction. At GTC Scotland, we see and hear firsthand about the significant difference that supporters can make to the induction experience. We appreciate how busy you all are, and we also hear firsthand the huge difference that supporters can make to provisionally registered teachers throughout their induction experience. I'll refer to them as PRTs for short in these slides. Thanks for making the time for your role in the induction process, and thanks also to reviewers who we hold in the highest possible regard, entrusted with making fair and informed decisions to award registration. A little bit background first of all. GTC Scotland was established in 1965 following calls from teachers for a body to ensure teaching standards. Our role is to register and to regulate teachers, and we do this by keeping a public register and setting and upholding the high standards teachers in Scotland must meet in order to enter and remain in the teaching profession. Trust in the teaching profession is essential to an effective education system, and at GTC Scotland, our role is to help maintain that trust. Teaching standards, which are the professional standards for teachers and the Code of Professionalism and Conduct, or COPAC for short, ensure trust in the teaching profession. To ensure that the professional standards are met and maintained throughout induction and that there is an awareness of the content within COPAC, the teaching standards are threaded through the provisional registration profile. It's all about progress. Expectations need to be managed. Everybody's journey from the standard for provisional registration to the standard for full registration is different. It's our intention that the standards will feature throughout all stages of a teacher's journey. A successful induction requires all areas of the standard for full registration to be met. However, we would expect a fully registered teacher to spend the next few years of their career digging into the SFR for a deeper understanding of what is within it. There's a lot of content within the suite of professional standards, and to help manage this and to bring some familiarity, each standard is built on the same framework: being a teacher in Scotland, professional knowledge and understanding, and professional skills and abilities. PRTs will use the MyGTCS platform to record their induction evidence and to share this with supporters and reviewers. We'll take a look now at the different areas of the profile and share some suggestions. First thing to check, has the PRT formed associations with the people that they need to provide them with the support and challenge that's required for induction? They must associate with a reviewer. They can associate with a supporter if they have one. PRTs on the teacher induction scheme are entitled to have access to a supporter. We also encourage PRTs on the flexible route to establish a relationship with a supporter where possible and to associate with them on MyGTCS. If a PRT works in a local authority, they are automatically prompted to associate with the probation manager in their area. Teaching blocks are the main organisers of the platform. They're like folders of evidence. They cover a period of time in a particular school when a PRT is working towards the standard for full registration. Different types of induction evidence, for example, observations and professional discussions, can be linked to a particular teaching block. The meeting of the standards area is where key strengths and areas for development are recorded. The standards themselves are really central to this area, so when a PRT records a key strength or area for development, they have to link that to the relevant area of the standard for full registration. As a reviewer or a supporter, you can see which areas of the SFR the PRT is making progress with, and which areas might be an area of focus moving forward. As a reviewer or a supporter, you can also add key strengths or areas for development for the PRT. The key within the development plans section is to ensure that what is entered is a realistic goal. At this stage, PRTs may be unaware of how busy school life can become and how little space there will be in a school week to dedicate to meeting any actions noted. Best practice would be a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 6 actions entered. At least one action should be within each of the areas: being a teacher in Scotland, professional knowledge and understanding, professional skills and abilities. It may also be appropriate to stagger the target dates by when the actions are to be achieved. This can perhaps make it appear a little less overwhelming. If something entered by the PRT seems unachievable within the timescale, then it can be broken down into smaller chunks. They have time after completing induction in which to dig deeper into the SFR. The time for professional discussions is probably one of the most valued aspects within induction, whether it be a planned meeting with a supporter or a spontaneous conversation with a staged partner. To make the most of any planned professional discussions, the PRT should share in advance what they would like to discuss to allow the supporter time to prepare. It's always helpful if the supporter also has a regular slot in the meeting where they can share or raise anything with the PRT without having to look for another time. Areas of discussion within the meeting should be linked to the standard for full registration. It's a good idea to plan the observations near the start of the induction period to ensure that they are in the diary for the coming academic session. One observation every 3 weeks fits nicely into the school calendar, which also gives space for any absence, holidays, or perhaps even a residential trip. Generally, most of the observations are carried out by the supporter. However, when a reviewer is submitting a recommendation for full registration, they are declaring that they have observed the PRT teaching within their category of registration, so this observation will need to be timetabled in as well. In primary, the observations should be across various times of the school day and demonstrate practice within different areas of the curriculum. In secondary, the observations should be spread across different year groups, including certificate classes if appropriate. All observations should be within the PRT's category of registration. Within the teaching days section, a teaching timetable can be uploaded if helpful. By doing this, it may help to ensure that the minimum number of hours teaching within the PRT's category of registration have been met but not exceeded. It's important to be honest when completing a progress report. It's probably easier to mention lots of positive things in a report than to include something which is causing concern and may require a more challenging conversation with the PRT. We want to avoid there being any surprises for the PRT later in induction, and the earlier something that's causing concern is mentioned in a progress report, then the more time the PRT has to reflect and to act on it, which hopefully will enable them to make satisfactory progress moving forward. If a recommendation is challenged by a PRT later in induction, the evidence within the profile is critical. If there is a concern about progress towards an area of the SFR, then this needs to be recorded somewhere within the profile to enable it to be used as evidence. The progress report may be the place to record it. Reviewers are the key decision makers, but they are informed by the evidence in the provisional registration profile. They can also be informed by key colleagues such as principal teachers, colleagues, probation managers, and supporters. Trust that this has been helpful, and if there are any further questions in relation to the My GTCS platform, please email gtcs@gtcs.org.uk.